Hello, everybody. Tarak37 here, and welcome to my bonus video to make up for the weeks I've missed. So, as you can probably see, this is not Star Wars. I decided it was between D&D because I got the Cubicle 7 put out a supplement called uh, A Life Well Lived that really helps with kind of fleshing out your character a bit more, beyond just like picking kind of picking a race and then, uh, you kind of pick a race, you pick a background, pick a class, and that's kind of it. Like you can obviously do more stuff on your own, but the Life Well Lived supplement was really good. I'm so it was between, but then I ran into the issue of, unfortunately, when you make a character, unfortunately, on Foundry, Dungeons and Dragons only has the SRD, the System Reference Document, that has just the bare minimum you need to play. Um, so, for example, you don't have all the spells. You don't have the Artificer class. Each class only has one subclass to pick from. So, um, if you make um, a wizard, your wizard is only going to be from the school of evocation. You don't pick any others. So I find that frustrating. Um, but then I thought of a game that is very similar to Dungeons and Dragons that I can kind of finagle my way through some of this, and I think it would still work. This is going to be an experiment for me to see how well this works. And I also find that this makes it really good for like immediately giving your character a backstory and something to do. There's some kind of a plot hook. Um, I'm not going to be showing the document on screen. At least I don't think it shouldn't show up on screen because it's a different window. But I do highly recommend it. I'll try to remember to put the link in DriveThruRPG to it in DriveThruRPG. Um, Again, I recommend it. I had fun messing with it on my own. I had fun playing impromptu D&D game with a friend of mine. Um, we ended up playing GMless, and we ended up very quickly coming across, coming up with before we even added Mythic, which Mythic is coming back for this. Even before Mythic, we already had like a goal of what our characters were going to do. The character I made, the one of the random events that happened was he was like in a town that was garrisoned, so there were like soldiers staying there, and basically one of the soldiers he became friends with, and the soldier had like a sketch of his kids, and he wanted my character, to take that sketch to his kids, take it back to his family, and I thought that was great. Um, I genuinely thought that was really cool, and there were like other things that happened that kind of helped make sure like my character became a ranger because that made sense. Um, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm going to be using that supplement to help make my character for 13th Age, and I'll try and run like a really quick scenario. 13th Age, just as a quick primer, is, I believe it's made by people who worked on previous editions of D&D, including 4th edition, and it was either 3.5 or 5th edition, maybe both. Um, it's very simple. It uses a lot of all the same dice as Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and so this might be up your alley. They have a couple of different things here. You have these three defenses. AC, you know what AC is. Physical defense is basically like your physical hardiness. Mental defense is like your mental hardiness. Um, Instead of like saving throws, you have three static numbers that the enemy is trying to. Well, no, you still have saving throws. It's basically like the three different defenses that your enemy might be trying to hit, and then you have saving throws, which you can see them right there. Um, So maybe it would be best if I just got started making the character and we get get the ball rolling. All right, I'm going to go to the first part of the life path, lineage. I'm not sure what all is going to be available in lineage. That is also in 13th age, but we'll figure it out. We're going to roll a D100, and we're going to roll 88. So according to the table, that means, hey, we're a regular ass human. All right, nothing wrong with that. Um, One thing that I really like about like being able to like randomize your like in this game, it's lineage, obviously. In a life well lived, they call it a lineage, not a race. Um, so I guess I'm just writing down my race. Human. Um, so normally, in this system, a human would basically get to pick any one of these abilities to immediately add a +2 to during when you're rolling for stats or selecting your stats. I'm not going to do that. Hold on. I'm going to check and see what do humans get. What's something? What's a okay? They get the quick to fight racial power. Which means at the start of each battle, I can roll initiative twice and choose the result you want. That's what a human gets. Um, and they also get 2 feats instead of one. I don't know if I'm really. Well, no, I have 2 feats. Oh my gosh. Alright, so quick to fight. I have the feature quick to fight. It is a feat. At the start of each battle, I roll initiative twice and I choose the result I want. So if for some reason I want to go last in battle, that's what I'll do. Alright, so that was my racial feature, and that was my trait, or my lineage. I don't want to like yeah. Yeah, I'm basically just going to skip what they say for humans because this is assuming SRT. Okay, next up is temperament. So temperament is basically your astrological sign. Like think like if you've played um, Elder Scrolls like Morrowind or Elder Scrolls Oblivion, you had like a star sign. Like you were born in the sign of the Atronach, you were born in the sign of the Lady, the Lord, the Shadow, things like that. That's basically what this is. So I will roll. I think this is also a D100. No, this is a D12. So, and I get to use pretty much all the different kinds of dice instead of, you know, just one. Okay, so my astrological sign is the Hippogriff, or it is Aries, or known as the Sword. It gives me a +1 to strength, and it gives me some personality traits. So in this case, ambitious and impulsive. You are born under the sign of the Hippogriff, a beast of instinct and raw ambition. Nothing gets in the way of what you want, though you may have yet to discover what that is. So basically, your astrological sign gives you a couple of traits. You don't have to follow those traits, but if you do in Dungeons and Dragons, you would get a point of inspiration. So, born under the sign of the Hippogriff, ambitious, impulsive, and a +1 strength. All right. All right. That makes sense. All right. Next up, we're going to figure out family. So, rolled a 35, which means I was raised by other humans. So, I'll put that. Raised by humans. Now, next up. Oh, actually, I just realized something very important to me. Come on. Play music. You exist in the. I put you. Oh my god. Alright, let's try this. Alright, here we go. This soundtrack, by the way, this is actually the 13th Age soundtrack. I pulled like a couple of songs or pieces of music just to have. The soundtrack's actually pretty good. I like it, and especially the combat music of like the Escalation 0, 1, 2. I'll go through what Escalation is in the in-game. But next up is Prosperity. Basically, like, you know, like, how rich was your family? Okay, 73. That means we had enough to be comfortable. Alright. Alright, and then a D4 to determine upbringing. There's four upbringings you can have. That they kind of run a gamut. Or whatever the actual... run the gambit. Alright, so. Raised with love and care. Probably one of the best. One of the more better upbringings we could get. And then we're going to be rolling a couple different dice. We're going to roll a d4 to determine how big was our family. So, 2. That means it's a medium family. We get 2d4 members of the family. Nope. There we go. 2d4. Alright, 7 members in the family. Medium family, 7 members. And now, we roll the family bonds table twice because I got a medium. And basically, each result indicates an important relationship you have with a family member. Or I could roll for each member once for each member of the family. I'm not doing that because that's going to be 7 rolls and it's going to take forever. So, I will roll 2d20. Alright, a 9 and an 18. So, 18 looks like it was first. So, welcoming. Always eager to help, they would lend a hand to you and many others regardless of their own troubles. This welcoming nature has invited many hardships into your life and you worry about them biting off more than they could chew. Alright, so I will make a note of that. Tab. Nope. Nope. There we go. 1. Member is welcoming. Alright. And 9 is they are estranged from you. This might have resulted from a disagreement or other event, or perhaps you simply drifted apart. You often find yourself thinking of better times with them. Member is estranged from you. Well. And disable that. Alright, so we have 2 significant bonds. One member of the family is very welcoming to people, can sometimes get them in trouble and cause them problems. Another, we are estranged from. Why? Unclear. Maybe more will... Maybe as we roll, we'll find more. Alright, so, next up is early childhood. What environment did we grow up in? What environment did we grow up in? And then what event happened while we were in that environment? So we roll a d10 to figure out which environment we grew up in, and then we roll a d6 for the event. The event will bump up one of our attributes. So, d10. Which environment did we grow up in? Okay, I rolled extraplanar. I don't want that. I rolled that last time and that was the one part that kind of made things difficult. Okay, 9. 9 is nomadic. We were nomadic. We moved around a lot. Okay. Alright. And I'll roll a d6. Okay, nomadic environment. We learned to identify tracks, identifying tracks, discerning safe forageables, and finding clean water were among the first lessons you learned, as it was essential to your survival. Wisdom score increases by 1. So, nomadic environment. wisdom, nomadic environment, and I'm not going to put the full text, but I'll basically say identifying. I'll just say identifying track. Yeah, man, I can't even type today. Identifying tracks and finding clean water. So a +1 to wisdom. All right. So next up is an adolescent experience. Now, this is where I'm going to have to start figuring out what to do, because adolescent experiences, the assumption with this supplement is you're doing Dungeons & Dragons. So an adolescent experience, normally what that would do, if you were doing Dungeons & Dragons, it would basically give you a skill proficiency. Basically, there would be... But 13th Age, as you can probably see on the screen, does not have skills. It has backgrounds. Instead, those are kind of the replacement for skills. Basically, you would put a background that is like, I don't know, you could put blacksmith as a background, and anything that would associate with that background, however many points you put into it, that is the bonus you would add to your roll. So, I'll roll a d100 to figure out what adolescent experience happens, and then we'll figure out how to make that into a background. So, 43. The unbridled ferocity in your eyes after you witness a friend being hurt scared away their harassers. Okay. So I'll put childhood protector. You know what? I will put maybe bodyguard almost. Either bodyguard / protector as background. So we'll have to keep that in mind when we actually get to like 13th Age character creation. Right now, I'm more doing this to kind of figure out who this character is before I start like doing stats and stuff. Basically, this would give your character intimidation as a skill proficiency, because you intimidated people. Okay, so here comes a life lesson. So life lessons are basically, I'll roll a d12 to determine an important moment in my character's life. Basically, faced with an important decision, and it'll be multiple choice. I'll have 3 options, and I'll pick one, and that decision will give me a +1 to another attribute. So, if I roll a d12, please don't be another weird creature, because I've gotten that every time I've rolled. It's annoying. Okay, apothecary. An odd alchemist came to your community, promising miraculous cures to common ailments. Did you research the treatments to discover if they truly worked, try several of the cures to ensure they weren't dangerous, or help to sell some of the cures yourself to make some gold? Okay. Ooh, this is kind of tough. So we know our guy is a protector. He was, someone attacked a friend of his. I'm gonna say he because it's just gonna be easier for me to make a character that's a guy, because I won't have to be pitching up my voice as much. Let's see. Not alchemist. Alright, I guess the question is... So, I don't think he'd try to sell some of the cures. The question is, would he try the cures himself? Is he that... Actually, he's impulsive. He's impulsive. I think he would try all the cures. That's what he'd do. If he's an impulsive guy and he wants to keep, like, his family safe, he'll try several of the cures. So, yeah. Several of an apothecary... to make sure they're safe. Means gets +1 to Constitution. He's impulsive. He might just say, all right, I need to make sure these are safe. Not the brightest guy, but he's tough. Next comes a pivotal moment. At one stage in your life, something happened that set you on a path to your future, an inciting incident that defined who you were for years to come. Roll on the defining event table to discover that event and learn which occupations are open to you as a result. You will also get a proficiency and an item as described within each event. So, let's roll a d10. 6. Merchant's Caravan, I rolled that on a test thing, so I'm gonna re-roll that because I don't like constantly getting the same stuff. God damn it. Give me something other than the freaking Merchant Caravan. Are you kidding me? Okay, if I get this one more time, I'll get it, because at that point it's like the universe is telling me to be part of a merchant. Oh my god! Go away. I'm gonna roll one more time. I will pick the Merchant's Caravan. I just want to see. Oh, fuck you. Now you give me something different after I already said. God damn it. Alright, fuck it. Let's see. Merchant Caravan. Alright. The available options to me are a caravan guard, a glass blower, or a guide. Like many young folks in your settlement, you signed on as part of a merchant's caravan to earn some coin or see the world. Among the caravan folks, you learned to trade either as a caravan guard, a glass blower, or a guide. The caravan was home to strange folks, none more so than the one known as the Spy, who habitually took notes on everyone and everything. The Spy vanished one night, leaving you, of all people, with his notebook. Only a few pages were legible, while others you have since deciphered. You gained proficiency with either a poisoner's kit, a forgery kit, or in deep speech or undercommon. You've kept the Spy's dog-eared notebook, with many pages still inscrutable to you. Okay. So, here's what I'll call that. Here's what I'll call that background. I will call that Spies, or Friend to Spies. Friend to a Friend to a Spy as background. And I'll make a note in inventory that he has new loot. I will call it Spy's Notebook. And we have one Spy's Notebook. Alright. Details. Okay. This thing could use a bit of work. I'm gonna say that. There we go. Friend to Spy as background. Okay then. So, for occupation, I don't think he'd be a guard necessarily. I don't think he has the patience to be a glassblower. I don't think he does. Guide, maybe. I think he would be a guide. I think that's what he'd be. He would be a guide. Okay. So, your occupation is the role you took before adventuring that paid your way through life. Decide whether you are still working as part of your defining event, or if you have continued this line of work elsewhere after the inciting incident. Your occupation grants you proficiency in the listed skill and tool. You start with a set of the tools you are proficient with. It also grants you an income die, which you will use to determine your starting funds. If you wish, you may continue to work in your former occupation, perhaps during your period of downtime. Should you survive to retirement, you may return to your former occupation or pursue another. So, I chose guide. You were a guide, an expert at navigating your local environment. Charts, maps, compasses, and spyglasses are the tools that have kept you and everyone and anyone you traveled with on the right course. Your attention to landmarks, physical formations, and the natural world around you has made your journeys all the safer. Alright, so I will call that guide. Caravan guide as background. Ah! So, got 3 backgrounds so far. Hopefully we don't get any more, because that's the max at this point. And we have a D4 income die. Not great. 1D4 income die. Okay. So, let's see what's next. Okay, quirks. So this is an interesting thing that I'll make it a feature, not a, like, this won't be like a background thing. But every one of us has a quirk, an aspect of our personality that makes us unique and memorable to others. You begin play with one quirk from the quirks table that holds true for the rest of your life. Think about where your quirk may have developed from. Do the experiences in your life make you this way, or does your quirk persist despite your past? Roll a d20 for this. Alright. So, 12. Gregarious. Okay, interesting. Your easy presence and assuring attitude will often loosen people's tongues. If you offer an interesting piece of gossip during a conversation, others will always reciprocate with their own gossip. Alright. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll add a feature, and I will call it, just gregarious. I'm not going to put anything else to it, because I don't think it's going to come up, but hey. Yeah. He's just gregarious. Nothing extra about it. Alright, so here's where we pick our class. And when we pick our class, if you're doing character creation through a life well lived, you get a +1 to a stat that is connected with, that is like the primary attribute of your class. So, for example, if I chose wizard, a wizard would get a +1 to intelligence. If there's an option like a paladin, if I was a paladin, I'd get to pick either +1 in strength or +1 in charisma. So now comes the class and what class works. So, born under the sign of the Hippogriff, he's ambitious, he's impulsive. Raised by humans with enough to be comfortable with love and care, grew up in a nomadic environment, identifying tracks and finding clean water. He's a bodyguard / protector. Tried several open apothecaries, curious to make sure they're safe. He was a friend to a spy. He was a caravan guide. Alright. I think that only leaves one thing he can be. He has to be a ranger. He has to be a ranger. That's the only thing that makes sense for him. Alright. He is a ranger. Class change detected, base stats adjusted, ranger. Alright, so you can see it's already done some of the behind-the-scenes magic magic to determine defenses and how those are determined. Next up. Oh, that reminds me. Because we're a ranger, we get a +1 to either dexterity or wisdom. Honestly, I'm saying maybe let's just double down on... do I want to double down on wisdom, or do I... Honestly, I think he needs the... he might need the dexterity, so I'll do the +1 dexterity. Ranger... +1 dex. This actually kind of fits so far with... because... So, in 13th Age normally, you would get a +2 from your race and a +2 from your class that you choose. So they basically like add 4 to all your stat. So basically 4 points are added to whatever your stats are. So this is basically kind of works. It's just more spread out. Okay. Now, the call to adventure. Why did we leave? I will say, so far we don't have much of a reason to leave our life as a guide. So our guy might need a reason. So let's roll a d10 and see what the reason would be. 9. You've been preparing for adventure your whole life. Yeah, that works. Been preparing for adventure. It's not how you spell Ben. For adventure your whole life. Alright, and now starting funds for a ranger is 20 gold times the income die. So I roll a d4 and multiply the result by 20 to determine how much starting gold we have. You have 40 gold. We have 40 gold to start. I'm going to save real quick to make sure. I don't know how much else is left. Oh, right, we need to actually roll our attribute scores. Whoops. Alright, so I'm going to be doing something different, closer to how 13th Age does attribute scores as opposed to Life Well Lived, because I like randomness, and I like more randomness as opposed to less. And what Life Well Lived recommends if you're rolling is to do 2d6 plus 6. I personally prefer 46 drop the lowest. So. Or keep the highest in this case. Alright, keep the highest. 46, keep the highest, yeah. Nope, that's not. It's not. Alright, so 9. I'm just going to, at the start, set strength to 9. This is already going up. Great, man. Oh my god. 12 plus 5. Oh boy. 17 to dexterity. And obviously I haven't added any of my stuff yet. Oh my gosh. This is going to be interesting. Alright. Alright, what do we got here? 6 plus 6. 12. Alright. Not bad. Alright. Alright. 4, 5, 6, 7. Not great. Not great at all. 15. Alright. Not bad. Okay, 6, 5, 11 plus 3 is 14. Alright. Honestly? I think what I'll do is I'll swap intelligence to a 9 and a strength to a 7, because I feel like strength is, like, not really going to be a thing. But everything else, I actually think that all works with what we've got so far. Like, dexterity, wisdom are our highest ones. Yeah, alright. Well, I can up our strength up by 1. Our wisdom goes up by 1 to a 16. Not bad at all. Constitution goes up to 13. Doesn't actually affect actual statistics, but that's fine. And then our dex goes up by 1. This isn't bad. This is not at all bad. This is pretty darn good, all things considered. Alright. Next up, I think we're actually getting near the end for our intrepid adventurer. So, next up is the finishing touches. This is more personality stuff. So, this part is called The Lies We Tell Ourselves. I'll roll a d20, and this will basically be a lie that he tells himself. Okay, 1. Love is weakness. I don't like that. I don't like that as a lie, that as something he tells himself. That I don't like that at all. 3. Once I do this, everything will go back to normal. Once I do this, everything will go back to normal. I like that. I'm just trying to figure out... Alright, let's see. I'm going to keep that. Once I do this, everything will go back to normal. So that implies he has something he needs to do that he feels that if he does this, everything goes back to normal, whatever that is for him. So that implies he has to do something. This is a lie he tells himself that a lie he's telling himself that I just have to do this one thing, and if I do this, everything goes back to the way it was. Okay. I like that. That is a good one. Alright, skeletons in the closet. This is a secret. I'll roll a d6 for what secret he has. This might inform what he thinks. Okay. The event from your early childhood is how you prefer to tell the story, but the truth is much uglier. Early childhood. I think that was this part. Let me double check that, but I think that was that part. Hold on. Let's see here. Early childhood. Oh no, that was the identifying tracks. I like the idea, but I don't think that actually works with what we're doing. So I'm gonna roll again. There's only 6 options, so you know, maybe I'll end up getting it again. But let's see. Okay, 6. It's easier to tell others the nice version of events from your adolescence, but you actually learned those skills in a more questionable manner. Okay, this might be the, Ooh, yeah, this is the adolescence one of the unbridled ferocity in your eyes after you witness a friend being hurt, scared away their harassers. So, he learned how to be a protector in a much uglier way. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, and then that which binds us, that doesn't really go with our, this would be like if I had another player character, and at the moment I don't. I'll roll for a short-term goal for my ranger, because this game, the supplement also adds stuff of like, oh, here's like do a short-term and a long-term goal. So let's see what his short-term goal is. For short-term goal is... I want to find a wild beast to befriend and tame as my new companion and travel in battle. Nice. So maybe I don't know if I don't remember if rangers in 13th Age start off with a companion. But if he doesn't, then that's his goal. He wants an animal companion. Cool. Now for a long-term goal. Even though this is going to be a one-shot and he's not going to come near for his long-term goal, but this might inform us a bit more about... Because I don't think the... Okay, 3. I could not bear to be parted from my animal companion. I seek a way for them to live as long as I do. I don't think that fits. I like it, but I don't think that fits for this character. I want to find a like-minded group of wanderers so that I may travel the world without having to forsake the connections of home. Okay, I want to find a like-minded... Ooh, okay, so here's my idea. He wants... to basically find others like him. Let me double check that I'm reading that right. He wants to find other wanderers and travel the world with them. Find other wanderers to travel the world with. So here's my thought process. here's my thought process so far. With all of this, I think that once I do this, everything will go back to normal. I think the caravan he was a part of got wiped out. He traveled with them. They kind of became his family. Something happened. He was a guide, which in my mind also means he's kind of a scout. He went out to help to find a path for them to travel through. And when he came back, everyone was dead. All of his friends, his new family, gone. He doesn't know why. He doesn't know who did it. He basically wants to start a new caravan on his own. He's ambitious, so he wants to be the one kind of in charge. He wants to start his own caravan to kind of make up for this, but also because his thing was wiped out, he wants to find who or what killed his group. I like that. Alright, full hit points. Okay. So, I think I might split this up into 2 videos because I need to actually finish making the character, and this is already probably getting to be kind of a long video. But I'm really liking this. I've always had a soft spot for 13th Age. I've rarely played it, rarely ran it, but it seems cool. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of give a brief read through of oh right. Also, let me check. Okay, dex mod plus level, 40 hit points, 7 plus con mod times level modifier, 8 recoveries, 1d8 times level plus the constitution modifier, 8 points, max of 5 in any one background. Okay, so we have 8 points to divvy up for our backgrounds. So we're going to write them down. I'll put this as protector. Friend to a spy, and caravan guide. Now, how do I want to do this? Because we have 8 points. I think 3 to protector, 3 to friend to a spy, and 2 to caravan guide. I feel like that's a good balance. Okay. Let me check here. Hold on, I'm going to double check and make sure that I don't have... Okay, yeah, I don't have anything else for a life well lived, so I'm going to close that document. Okay. 3 points for icon relationships, 3 talents, and 2 feats. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Oh man, they got a lot of talents. God dang. Okay. So. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading through them. I think the SRD is actually fairly well done, filled out for this system as well. So I'm pretty sure if I go over to Ranger for here. Yeah, this all looks right. Alright, I'm going to drag and drop melee attack Ranger and range attack Ranger. And this basically does the, you know, how we do it. And if I were to... roll for that attack, is 17 damage. D10 minus 1. Yeah, because it has strength. Whereas if I did a ranged attack... Oh, nat 20! Oh boy. And then it does it doubles. instead of it doubles the die and then adds the thing. So, all right. So, that's really good. Sorry. Just doing some tests. Okay. So, let's see. I'm going to choose archery because that's a good one. What this does is hold on. Once per battle, I can re-roll one of my missed ranged attacks. Pretty good. If I choose, I have 2 feats. Feats in this game, a lot of them are tied directly to talents or features of your class. So for example, like in this case, if I take the adventure feat on this, once per battle, I can re-roll a missed range attack. If I do this, my archery rerolls get a +2 attack bonus, and the crit range expands by 1. So that means I crit on a 19 or a 20, which is pretty good. Let's see. 2 weapon mastery. I don't really want to do the like dual thing. Let's see. I could choose Lethal Hunter, where once per battle is a free action. I could choose an enemy, and the crit range against that enemy expands by 2 for the rest of the battle. And a mob of mooks will count as a single enemy. Oh man, that actually... I'm going to do that because that sounds like it could combo really well with archery. So that's my second talent. I got 1 more. Okay, so here's the deal with that, though. So the Animal Companion counts as 2 talent slots. But my guy hasn't earned that yet. I get an additional ranger talent at 5th level, and again at 8th level. This thing goes up to like 10 levels, so... okay. I think I'm actually going to drop the Lethal Hunter. I'm going to choose Animal Companion, but... my guy does not know yet. But my guy has not actually gotten his Animal Companion yet. Okay, you have a devoted animal companion who fights alongside you like a member of your adventuring party. If you have a single talent invested into... If you invested 2 talents in it, you're an animal. When you roll initiative, you may choose whether you want your animal companion to take part in the battle. You may also call your animal companion during the battle with quick action. Animal companion initiates may only call their animal companion once every other battle. The animal companion may not fight in 2 battles in a row, even between full heal-ups. Animal companion adepts don't have this limitation. They can fight in every battle if the adept so chooses. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure that it's... that's what I'm going to spend 2 of my talent points on. Ooh, that would be nice. Okay. Got a lot of adventure feats for this. That's it. Man. Alright, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest 2 talent points into this. Alright, and then for my... hold on. Making sure, because like there's also class features that are a thing. I need to remember. Animal companion rules. All right. Alright, I'm going to have it once per day can attack twice in a round with a standard action, because that seems fun. That's going to be the first feat. I don't have any other... Make sure that one turned it on. Yes! Alright, and then I'm going to turn this on as well. Alright. I think this could be fun. Okay. So now for the whole, I'm using just the core book because otherwise I'm gonna be uh, going back and forth. What the hell is it? Animal Companion 0. Hold on. Okay, your companion stays a level lower than you, so generally your companion's physical defense should be higher than its mental defense, but you could flip that if you have a good explanation. Alright, so we have a level 0 animal companion. So, what would be a good one? Bear... I want to pick something... Initiative, the ongoing damage is 3 times. There's some good stuff here. Advantage, it flies. Its melee is dropped by 1 size. I don't really like that. A boar or a spiky lizard when it moves before it's attacked during the same turn. Ooh, I kind of like that. I also kind of like the idea of having a poison toad. Ooh, twice your level. Also deals ongoing poison damage equal to twice your level. Yeah, we're going to do that. Animal Companion 0. Drag and drop that here. Did that work? No. Oh, it's probably like a token. So I probably need to like drop in over here. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I'm going to have it be, instead of Animal Companion 0, I'm going to call this a Poison Toad. Because I have a friend who loves frogs and toads. So, Poison Toad. That is who he is. We'll come up with like an actual name later. Oh, that's flavor. Interesting. Alright. But yeah. And it acts after us. And if it rolls, so in 13th Age, there's a lot more than just, oh, you roll a nat 20 or you roll a nat 1. There's like, if you roll a natural roll above this, or if you roll a natural even number before any modifiers, or you roll a natural odd number, things like that. So for example, if I were to roll an 18 or above, twice my level, so it would basically be 2. It would basically be 2 ongoing damage. And then feats could like bump that up to 4 times my level, which at epic would basically be like at that point between I think like 8 and 10. So that would, like at minimum 32 damage, at max 40 damage ongoing. Nice. Okay. So there's our Poison Toad. And now we need to come up with a good name for our ranger. Because I think that's actually it. Other than icon relationships... Hold on, I need to go look at icons again. Oh, right, and then the one unique thing. So what this game has is... This provides no... this will provide no mechanical benefit. It's just something... What makes our ranger different from every other... what makes our human ranger different from every other human ranger we'll come across? What makes them unique? This can't have a, like, mechanical benefit. It has to be something that it's like... It's more of a story thing. Or a flavor thing. So... What would be an interesting one to start with? What would be a good one? Let's think here. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have this be a one unique thing. Has odd skin tags that are the result of the apothecary's cures that he took when he was younger. He was younger. So there, like something that doesn't, you know, like maybe there are other side effects that we don't know that could be explained later on by like something weird could happen in play that it's like, oh, you know what? That actually could be explained by, oh, this guy has a sorry, had to burp. This guy had to that can only, like, something can happen in game that could only be that can maybe be explained by, oh, this is like a side effect of all those stuff that he drank that he probably shouldn't have. All right. So in 13th Age, there are also icons. These aren't gods. These are just like really important people, like the Great Gold Worm, the Priestess, the Emperor, the High Druid, the Prince of Shadows, the Diabolist, the Lich King, the Orc Lord. All these people that are important, but they're not gods. They're just very powerful, sometimes very old. What would be a good one? Because I kind of want a good relationship with a traditionally heroic icon. You know, I'm going to give him a positive relationship with the Elf Queen, who's usually ambiguous but can be a heroic icon. I'm going to spend 2 points on that. 2 points. For a positive relationship with the Elf Queen. A positive relationship with the Elf Queen. Alright, and then I'll have a negative relationship with, let's say... You know what? The Diabolist. I think the Diabolist would be a good one. We're going to have a negative relationship with the Diabolist. Alright. And... now to figure out a human name. What would be a good... Alright, time to go to fantasynamegenerators.com. And we're gonna find... what would be a good human name? Human name. Sam Rickman. No, not that. Henry Thrall. I kind of like that one. Henry Thrall. Henry... And... other than me trying to, like, look up some character art, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I didn't expect character creation to go on this long, but I did kind of want to run through character creation this time for y'all, since I really wanted to show off A Life Well Lived. I really love that supplement, and I think it actually kind of works for this pretty well. And yeah, I will have an extra bonus episode out. Hopefully fairly soon, where I will run through a brief thing where hopefully Henry will run into his animal companion, and they will go off on an adventure and maybe find out who murdered his caravan. Thank y'all for watching / listening. Hope y'all have a great day, And hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, everyone. Bye.